good. And then, in theory, we're probably already showing up on your end. We'll be on my end here in a moment. We'll be starting so close to on time. Like on the hour.
That's weird. We should never do that. It's a bad omen.
Yeah. Well, we're still 30 seconds beyond, so I think we're okay. Why are you not offering me the start stream button yet? Sync to preview player. Play. Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Fuck it.
I just need to start having this set to stream now on my end too. Okay, now I can start streaming. Let's make sure I'm muted though. I don't need to hear it back. All right. Timer's going.
All right.
All right, all right. How loud is the time? Okay. All right, good. Yeah, so Rick and Morty, I'm trying to figure out when season 4 is coming out. Have you seen it?
Never seen Rick and Morty.
Never?
Well, I saw a parody of a court thing where Rick and Morty were reading the transcripts, but
that was funny.
Actual episode, none. And I saw the aftermath of the McDonald's sauce thing. Does that count?
No, not really, but God, I love Rick and Morty, man. I'll be honest, some of the fan base can be entirely insufferable. Just the worst. What's that?
Like your fan base?
I love my fan base. My fan base is perfect.
You have to say that.
Oh, no one can see me. You can't. Anyway, no, I love my fans. But yeah, Rick and Morty, that shit's my shit. That jam's my jam.
I'll have to check it out. Is it good?
Dude, it's like, so the reason why they're insufferable is it is some of it's smart humor, and there's a lot of old references and things in it. And so anybody who gets a joke that they think anybody else didn't get, they immediately are just like, I just understand this show on a totally different level. But
well, the way that you're talking about it, I'm sure that they do a bunch of, the SJW stuff too, right?
No, oh God, no. Dan Harmon was the guy behind Community, and him and Justin Roiland made it. These guys are not remotely politically correct.
What the hell are you doing watching it?
I am also not politically correct.
Not according to my fan base.
I know it. Don't I know it? Yeah. I don't. My brother said I hate Pickle Rick. I don't hate Pickle Rick. I have a little Pickle Rick toy.
Your outfit on the timer offends me.
I don't care. That's
just saying.
Yeah.
Apparently you didn't get the memo.
Are you positive that that's not an accurate representation of one of Joseph Smith's wives? Because that's what it was supposed to be.
I'm just saying. The news media has declared that Handmaid's Tale outfits are not PC. How dare you?
That's not Handmaid's Tale. That's just like old pilgrim woman. I'm trying to remember what I searched for the stock image. Now
you're just making excuses for your bigotry. I should have known following the great racial thing that we had on here.
You know what? I think I went with an Amish woman for the basis.
It's even worse.
A Quaker. Well, you can't offend. You can't offend the Amish. They'll never know.
Actually, you can, because they make really good fireplaces.
Yeah, furniture in general. It's high quality shit.
I'll tell you, if I had to help the Amish for a weekend, based on another pastime that I do, I could really help them churn butter. I feel like I would be very strong churning butter.
I don't think I have the endurance to do one day of an Amish lifestyle. They are sundown to sunset, just jacking off that butter.
Yeah, edging that butter.
It's getting it closer and closer. Did you know the timer finishes 7 seconds before the end of the video?
What up, everybody? Casket King here. So now I'm going to show you how to rub the pumpkin. Here we go.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yeah.
Just rubbing that pumpkin.
Oh, that was all.
Rub it.
I'm turning butter.
Rub it. Oh my God, I'm so close. Rub it.
Oh, gosh.
And we're back. I'm sorry, I had to take a jump.
I forgot about that surprise ending.
I did too.
But as you can see, that is the proper way to rub your pumpkin before carving it into a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. So
what's awful?
So
What's awful is that this moment is the highlight of this young man's life. Like, him in bed with a pumpkin, rubbing it, is as good as it's going to get. And that's sad.
Did you tell me that he made like a bunch more of these? Like, there's rubbing your pumpkin 2, rubbing your pumpkin 3. Yeah. All right.
There's a rule, guys. Look, if you make something very successful, a video that goes viral, let it do. Seinfeld it, okay? Get out while you're on top, because you will never outdo the first time you crawled in bed with a pumpkin.
I did not follow that advice. I think I have 4 videos that now have both Matt Dillahunty and Jordan Peterson in the title. I'm gonna keep doing it.
So you really are going to compare having 2 people that are really philosophy bound and they have points to make and actual opinions to someone in bed with a pumpkin. That's a big difference between the 2 things.
Is there? Welcome one and all to Ad Homies. We should have done this part. I am Mr. Atheist, at Dear Mr. Atheist on Twitter, or if you're watching over on the non-sec side right now, did you know I have my own channel that we're also streaming this out on called Mr. Atheist? And if you're not a subscriber, you should be, but you shouldn't be a subscriber to the non-sec channel, as Kyle will attest to.
Yeah. I'm Kyle. I host some show that we do crazy stuff. You don't need to know.
Never subscribe. One day I feel like one day you're going to flip that on me, because I always start the show something like that, and you're going to be like, wait, why are you telling them not to subscribe? I put so much work into it just to make me look like a dick.
I don't understand why people, look, I really don't. It's not a channel I would subscribe to. It raises my blood pressure. So, I mean, if they want to subscribe, that's fine, but I'm not going to be responsible for that kind of damage to their life and mental health.
Non-sec is like, it's what we all do every now and then, where we go down those rabbit holes of like watching videos of trains wrecking or really bad car crashes or people getting bitten by snakes. It's that rabbit hole.
It's happiness, it's sorrow, it's regret, it's shame, it's conspiracy, it's joy, it's laughter, all put in a blender, blended up really nicely, and then put in a glass. And that glass is then thrown right in your face at 90 miles an hour.
It smells a bit like pickles, too.
And regret.
Mm-hmm. Well, same smell. So this week everybody who's new here, we're going to review some of the videos, and we're kind of sticking to the Halloween theme. Now, next week we are going to have a special episode on Wednesday on Halloween. And I don't think we've decided if we're also going to have an episode that Friday or not, but we will have a Halloween episode next Wednesday.
We don't ever have episodes on Friday, Jimmy. So
Saturday.
I can go ahead and say with confidence that we will not be having a show on Friday.
That's true. On my calendar, I always have our meeting somewhere on the list, because we pick our clips the day before and shit. But anyway, so for sure we'll have a Halloween episode on Wednesday. For all of you like me who could not less want to go out on Halloween, we'll be here for you, and we'll have our own Halloween party with blackjack and hookers. Futurama reference.
Because we have no friends.
Well, we're each other's friends. That's like,
once again,
that's like when you like are young and you're like, Mom, I have no friends, and she tries to I'm your friend.
Right.
In my case, it would have been, I'm your friend. My mother's a British person, for those who don't know.
I'm totally throwing up a gif of that little nerdy kid that just blinks with that faraway stare right now. They need to get that where we can do that in real life, where we can just like throw up a gif in real life. Like, in real life, I can gif you.
That'd be dope. Yeah, like you,
It would
something
be.
that's embedded into our hand, just like the Bible foretells. And anytime we want it, we can just, and it projects a little hologram of whatever gift we're thinking of.
Wait a minute. G flipped over is a 6, right? And an I, if you add a circle like the Illuminati circle, that makes a 6 too. And an F, if you close the tip and then flip it around, it's a 6.
Oh my God, we just busted this shit wide open.
This is why our show is great, though, because it hones you to be able to see these things that the Illuminati hides from you.
That's going to affect our Illuminati checks coming in. We before we get started, we always talk about some of the stuff we did this last week. I find it's my favorite part of the episode, but the funny videos are good too. Kyle, explain the image they're seeing on the screen there.
You are seeing Mr. Atheist, and he is
the other one. Yeah,
I thought that was an artist rendition.
It kind of looks like me in a couple, except for look at that hairline. That hairline's way too low to be me. Bring it big for.
I wasn't gonna say that, but
oh, that's sweet of you.
You know,
I'll handle it.
I thought this was just gonna be your Halloween costume, a Knights Templar, Jimmy.
I genuinely thought of going as Steve McRae for Halloween. I would only have to put some extensions into here. Yeah.
Nope. Now that you said you have to do that for the Halloween special.
All right.
Will go as Steve
I'll figure
McRae.
it out.
And audience on let me know who I should go as. We'll see what's most popular. Who should I be on the Halloween special?
Oh my God, you should do
Rayel.
Rachel Maddow. Please vote Rachel Maddow in the in whatever this, however they're telling you he should go as Rachel Maddow.
It's up everywhere. Everywhere.
And then you have to accentuate every point. We are here today to talk about funny videos, the funniest videos on the internet.
I would much rather like to go as somebody said G-Man. You know what I mean?
What do we?
I'm gonna say it again. Who should I go as for Halloween?
I think
I'm gonna say it one more time.
I think they just
Who should
want
I
to see
go
you
as
go
for
in
Halloween?
blackface. Don't do it, Kyle. All right, explain this video. Explain this thing. We'll get there.
This is Lord Rayel. Obviously, he is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, but he's not Jesus Christ. He is the spirit, the same spirit that entered Jesus Christ and left and went to heaven. It came back down and it entered him. And he is a leader of a cult of about 90 people. They are currently out of the United States, and they're crazy. Number one, he made it a prediction that the world was going to end on a certain date by an asteroid. When that day came and passed, on their forum, a lot of people asked, what happened? Why are we still here? And as if the story couldn't get any better, how he answered them was through emoji. He answered them with emojis. I am not making this up.
Did he come on the show?
The Lord Rayel will not. He will not come on shows.
Bummer.
We invited his emissary. He's got an emissary. The Grand High something of something another, and they don't do interviews. However, following this show, they got so much shit on their forum that they left a comment on the video saying that, okay, we have revisited our policies and we will allow you to ask 10 questions. And after submission of those 10 questions, Lord Rayel has authorized me to appear on your show. So we are getting his emissary in the next week.
Nice.
We had a Patreon hangout today and got the 10 questions together. We let our patrons pick the 10 questions. One of them, interestingly enough, was, what is in my pocket? And does God really wear Chuck Norris pajamas to bed? Those didn't make the final cut, but I think they were right where everybody should be on this issue, as serious as it is. So he will be coming on. He is a cult leader with a really bad English accent. If you hear the accent, it sounds like somebody trying to do Shakespeare from this, 1400s.
Oh, interesting.
It's really
kind of
bad.
like the, and thus I say unto you, one of those guys.
Let let me bring him up, and we'll
Yeah,
just hear a little audio clip of Lord Rayel. But yeah, we had a guy that infiltrated them. His name was Michael. He infiltrated their little base, made them think that he was a member or whatever. So he got a lot of information. He came on the show. He divulged that information and kind of took us through what they were all about. So it was really
kingdom, and those of my choosing will reign with me in peace and love forever.
forever.
My Father's breath is already upon you. As never before, you are feeling your lands move.
I don't think he's real.
Do you feel your lands move, Jimmy, beneath you? Do you feel the quake of the earth?
Oh my god, that is so fucking cringy. Welcome.
What is
I
even
will
more
be doing.
cringy? What's even more cringy is that 90 people followed me. 90 people. I got to buy this horrible accent.
He sounds like Alan Rickman got kicked in the balls. I will be speaking as Lord Rayel for the remainder of this episode, except for when you
Sounds
super
like-
chat, which is when I switch to Stewie Griffin.
Sounds like Sean Connery having a stroke.
Yeah, a little bit. Under our feet. I shall rent you in twain, Kyle. I'll try. I'm looking forward to that. So that's coming up this week. The Emissary. Does the Emissary talk anything like him?
I hope he does, because if he doesn't, we will be very disappointed.
Welcome.
I'm just going to do the rest of this episode like this.
Welcome, one and all. Good. Over on
Wait, one more thing, though.
Go ahead.
One more thing. If you are wondering where he got his name from, Lord Rayel, do not think for one instant it is like the gods of Egypt, where Ra and El was, they stood for things. They were part of a a hierarchy of deities. This man's name was Raymond Elwood, so he took R.A. from Raymond and E.L. from Elwood, and he smashed them together. So, therefore, my name from now on is Kaiku. I am Lord Kaiku.
All right, that works.
Dope, motherfucker. Dope.
I will remain Lord Pretty Daddy. So over on my channel, we did this awesome collab thing with Prophet of Zod, Iset Oregano, Shannon Q, Telltale Atheist, Godless Iowan, and Godless Cranium. The Godlesses were there together. And it was 7 Things Theists Say. But the funny thing about this was that I was putting this together. So everybody had sent me their clips. I was compiling this while at the same time on Facebook on my other monitor was having a debate with a creation or a Catholic. It was a Catholic and a Baptist, I think. These two people that if you actually got them together, they would not agree on anything, but they were going with the God is real. Of these
you couldn't
7...
dance, but you could touch children.
Yep. Christ. Of these seven things, they said 5 of them. So here were the 7 things that we did. And so all of these are covered with rebuttals by all of these fucking lovely ass people. Prophet of Zod replied to, "You should believe just in case," or as we all know it as Pascal's wager. So they didn't actually, this argument they didn't directly make. They did like the indirect version of like, well, you'll go to hell and I'm not, so who's the one taking the risk here? Iset took on atheists have no basis for morality, and they brought up the objective morality bullshit. Darwin or some other scientists believe in God, and actually what's funny is in the description I put Darwin, but I actually did it. People like to bring up Isaac Newton all the time. That was the point I took. Shannon Q took, you should... I know God lives because I've experienced him. Telltale took, you do believe in God. Nope, that was Godless Iowan. You would believe in God if you lived his words. Godless Iowan took, you do believe in God, you just want to sin. And Godless Cranium took, you can't prove God doesn't exist. And seriously, like, if we were playing bingo, we would have all won whatever. Not that there's only 7 slots on a bingo board. All of those. Which one do you hear the most of those 7? Or is there one outside of the 7 you would cite as the thing you hear, the argument you hear the most as an atheist from theists?
Well, all of them you hear often. The one that annoys me the most is the morality one.
Yeah, it's annoying too. The one I think I hear the most that is like the stupidest one to me is you can't prove God doesn't exist, as though that is proof of anything.
Yeah.
Prove I'm not Spider-Man.
It always bothered me that a group of people who all of the like the tragic things and murder and famine and sacrifice and all that stuff come from their book, and they're standing behind a deity that is a supporter of that while looking at people who don't have those kind of feelings on the inside or those urges and saying we're more moral than you. I don't think they understand what morality is. I don't think they have a clue what morality means. They have no fucking idea what it means.
Right. And I've said this a million times. Whether or not morality is objective or subjective, I couldn't care less. Choose either one. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah,
that's what it
and they
comes
always use the example of, are you gonna if somebody takes a kid's hand and puts it in a fire, is that always wrong, or is it just wrong to you? You know, they're trying to make a comparison there. And my thing is, if somebody's around a kid that's going to put their hand in a fire, no one's going to stop and think, is this objective or is this subjective? They're going to stop the kid from putting their hand in the fire. You know, you don't squabble over which is which. It's just however you feel about it, that's fine. But don't say that the other side doesn't have any morality just because it fits within your narrative. That's just dishonest and stupid.
I'll take my my thought out, considered over this book tells you when genocide's all right.
Yeah, with Eseth, we had a guy named Eric on the show this past week that clearly said the people that were killed in the Bible, the women, the men, the children, they were being punished by God. And I asked the question, did the children do anything? Did they transgress against God? He said, well, in some ways they had to have, because God killed them. And so when you get to that point where you are starting to apologize for people who murder children openly, then you're a sick fuck, and no one needs to even bother paying attention to whether they think you have morals or not. You should laugh at them and walk away.
It's funny how, like, hindsight's 20/20, and we go back and we look through the centuries of, like, oh man, that Hitler genocide, that was fucked up. The Crusades were fucked up. And you just go through this list, but then they get back to Bible and they're like, okay, but these genocides were cool. Like, these were okay.
Right.
Don't fuck with those genocides.
On the Atheist Experience, there was a caller that called with Dillahunty, and they were talking about I forget, I'm paraphrasing here, but it was the kid was molested or something like that, and the caller said, well, how do you know the young girl that was molested was innocent? And that's when Dillahunty hung up on him and called him like a piece of shit or something like that. But I mean, that's to the point that you get where you start to question whether or not the kid was innocent or not.
That's so fucking stupid to me. I'll take my consequentialism over your dictated here's when it's cool to genocide fucking church. I will
not be talked to by someone like that, some despicable, deplorable person that can be a murder apologist of innocent kids and say that I don't have morality. You get laughed at and told to fuck off, period.
Would that do okay as a t-shirt, you think? It just says, like, the Bible telling you when genocide is A-okay.
Exactly. It's what it is.
I think that would be an okay shirt. All right. Anyway,
fuck off with that
was a lot of fun. I think it was a really fun video to put together. I love all 6 of those people who did it with me. I was the 7th for anyone who's like, what's that? Yeah, really good video. If you haven't seen it, check it out after this video, because watch this live. You never know when a nipple's going to pop out from Kyle or me.
You never know.
You really never know.
Mystery.
Yeah.
Oh, can we, before we get into the videos, can we throw up our talking point today?
Yeah, sure. I don't have an image for it. Was I supposed to?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you want me to put up the headlines? Yeah. You can start. I'll get it up here in a second. I just thought you were sending me that. Okay.
I spent hours on that, actually. Can't you tell how I carefully cut around each article and framed it just right?
If you
I'm
spent
sorry,
hours
nature
on
fantasy.
that,
I literally did it while I was taking a leak.
yeah, I believe that.
Um,
But
so, so last night, Bill Maher had a segment on his new rules that I thought was like spot on. Here we go. There's a crazy movement, I think, to The Handmaid's Tale, right? It's a Hulu series where you know what The Handmaid's Tale. I don't have to go in and all that, but
yeah.
they are getting to the point now where they are saying there was a movement, a petition, a outcry from the public. Here are all the headlines from the major news outlets: Halloween costumes that cross the line and how to avoid picking one. Yes, Yandy really made a sexy Handmaid's Tale costume. Petition to pull the Native American costume. Retailers drop Handmaid's Tale costume following outcry. Okay, The Handmaid's Tale is a fictional series. Fictional. And the fact that we have people that are trying to petition to take down a sexy version of an outfit that doesn't exist in reality is ridiculous.
Yeah, so basically the bit he did was talking about political correctness and the way it has just gone absolutely absurd. And so this won't be very popular on with some of my audience. I do not consider myself a very politically correct person. That's pretty much where the line is and why I don't. While I support a lot of the social justice movements and have a lot of friends who self-identify even as social justice warriors, I myself don't identify as a social justice warrior, and political correctness would be one of the places that I think things have gone bonkers. Now, that isn't to say that I don't think it is stupid to wear a Pocahontas costume. I kind of do. I certainly think wearing blackface is crossing the line.
I'm interested in Pocahontas.
There's lots of things that I think are dumb, but what I think is much worse is that right now we have a situation where I have seen in the last week more outrage over the Pocahontas costume than I have seen over the voter suppression of Native Americans in the Dakotas. And so to me, it feels like the reason why I can't get on board with a lot of the quote unquote social justice, political correctness stuff, even though, or especially the political correctness, there's a lot of stuff outside of the social justice warriors when it comes to like trans rights and stuff that I'm extremely supportive of, that have much less to do or nothing to do with political correctness. When it comes to the political correctness side, I think you are undermining real issues. So I, for example, am a person who suffers from mental illness. I'm not going to talk about what mine is or what I deal with, but now coming and saying like the problem, acting as though right around Halloween, the big thing we need to worry about are people wearing insane asylum outfits because that offends people with mental illness. When today we had another mass shooting, like let's go with outrage over non-access to mental illness and not a costume somebody wears on a day of the year that's somewhat designed to not be politically correct, where people are, let's not pretend these are premeditated, like people are trying to offend.
Get over ourselves.
Yeah, the sexy, Bill Maher brought up the sexy mariachi band. I think it's probably a dumb ridiculous costume. I think most costumes are dumb, but
yeah, we will get to the point where we will be offending zombies for people who wear zombie outfits. Like, grow up, people. Stop being so stupid over things that don't matter ultimately. If you want to wear a costume, it's your one day to dress up. Whatever you want to, do it.
I wouldn't say do anything, but you would, and that's fine. Again,
yes, because I don't get it. People
as
need to lighten
political
up.
movements go, political correctness is undermining extremely real issues that are being covered up by the loudest version of like what a problem is. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stupidity on the other side of the political correctness spectrum. If you think the biggest racial injustice is that you as a white person are going to be met with hostility if you use the N-word, you're not paying fucking attention. But when it comes to the, go ahead.
I was just going to say that one of the reasons why Trump won in 2016. this is a huge reason why we are fighting to gain traction in any kind of political movement. If you want to be progressive, it's because you get tied to the loud people on one side who are screaming at you because you have on a costume that is of a fictional character in a series made up. Grow the fuck up and enjoy yourself once in a while. Please, for our country's sake, stop being so petty and stupid.
Yeah, well, my point's slightly different, but I think I made mine. It really is just stop undermining real issues with things that aren't. If we got every Pocahontas costume taken off the shelves and not another person wore a Pocahontas, Native Americans wouldn't be in a better place. And this also has to do with like.
But would we be mad if a Native American went as a white guy? Like if a Native American dressed up as a guy, Steve from Starbucks, who walked around with a Frappuccino and a laptop in his hand, would we get pissed off?
We don't really grant that argument on the other side of stuff. The reason why like certain things are fucked up is because it's the people who are a group that are traditionally oppressive mocking or making fun of groups that are oppressed.
I don't think people dressing up as Pocahontas is mocking anybody.
I'm not saying
it's a character.
I'm not saying it is either, and certainly kids that dress up as Pocahontas, I don't think that's what's in their heart either. What I'm talking about is we don't use the
it's in nobody's heart.
It's like straight. I'm talking about like the straight pride. You're doing the equivalent of the like. Well, how come there's not a straight pride festival?
No, I'm not. It's a
or how come there's not a white Pride Month, a white history month.
It's a costume.
I know.
They're going as Halloween they're dressing up as.
I'm not addressing that. I'm addressing your other argument about would we be offended if they dressed up as a white guy? I was saying why we don't. That argument.
I have a serious question for you.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to the.
Let's get some videos going.
But do we get pissed off with actors in movies because they're dressed up as somebody from a different time period? No, it's a movie.
Back to your zombie point, wouldn't it be funny if that's what triggered the second coming of Jesus? Like, he just got so tired of zombies and he came back. He's like, look, there's a way you guys depict people who have risen from the dead. It's pretty offensive to me.
I just threw up in my mouth. That's what I get from this.
Zombie
Let's Jesus!
Maybe I should do fat zombie Jesus for Halloween. No, you already said it has to be Steve McRae.
They'll probably kill you. They'll string you up. The liberals will string you up by your toenails and you'll be a martyr. There you go.
That's actually one of the things. That's like one of the. This is where you see the hypocrisy a lot. Is like people who are really will call anything Islamophobic, but like you can say anything about Christians or Catholicism or Mormons or stuff, and you're like, oh, I get it. You don't actually know when religion differs from race. So that's a pretty fun thing too. But so anyway, there's me off of my no, liberals don't care if you attack Christians and if you attack Christianity or Jesus. I don't think.
Lighten up, America. For fuck's sake.
Did you say whiten up America? Jesus Christ, Kyle.
Sure.
And you try to play me off
sir.
As the racist.
Need I bring up scammers and how you
I don't know to what you did referring.
You did scam appropriation. You did scam appropriation a few weeks ago. How dare you?
I'm not familiar with the thing you're talking about. All right, let me get this off the screen. I gotta crane my neck.
Is that Waldo in the background?
Waldo, yeah. Have you not seen my background
Are you Waldo
before?
Appropriating?
Absolutely.
You're Waldo appropriating.
It's mine. I bought Waldo. I own him. Well, let's move on to some weird, creepy, strange shit. This is gonna be my jam. So we're kind of mixing it. So Wednesday on Halloween, we're gonna go all creepy. This time we're mixing it with things that remind us of, because people talk about like exorcisms as though that's proof. Here are people who are not going through religious demonic possession, and yet you might not be able to tell the difference between a demonic possession and a crazy ass drug trip. Also, I'm sorry to whoever SO Lycan said he's offended. I don't have my man button in. Sorry.
Yes, I like it. What are you doing on Mr. Atheist channel?
He's on the better channel.
You've been caught now. You've been caught now.
This girl. Let the power of Christ compel you. The power of Christ compel you.
Compel you to put down them drugs. Now, the crazy thing about this is the guy sitting across from her is casually recording
Filming.
this.
Yeah. What
If
else
this
do
was
you
happening,
do?
You get the fuck up and leave.
So I want to ask you this before we play the remainder of this video, and we've got to break up some of these anyway because of content strikes and bullshit like that. Mostly we're commenting so we get to, but I'm so fucking tired of challenging my content strikes from these episodes. This girl, what do you consider the line of physical assault? When do you think like it's okay to physically resist a person, if not attack them?
A person, or are we breaking it down sex-wise?
No.
Like,
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think
I
it's
guess
ever-
there's yeah. Go ahead. You don't think it's
I
ever
don't think
what?
it's ever okay to put your hands on a woman.
Put your hands on, I wouldn't agree with, but I don't see the need when you are a larger, in most cases, it's very rare for me to be up against a woman who is larger than I am. I don't mind using my hands to resist or restrain or somebody who's attacking me. I'm definitely not going to let them just punch me in the face over and over.
When I say put your hands on, I mean like strike or be the aggressor.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. And to tell you the truth, I don't think most people ever need to strike another person regardless of gender. I think it's rare that you actually need to do that. Not to say that it doesn't happen. I've been in plenty of fights myself, and I didn't need to be in plenty of those fights. Anyway, here we go.
Central Station.
It looks like she's like trying to come down now.
You know, there could be a simple solution to this. I felt like that many times after eating Chipotle. So it
She does.
could just be that.
She does look like she's holding in a turd. Oh God, what have I done?
Kyle never puts his hands on women. That is true. It is very true.
Yeah, no shit.
My live chat is woke. Smitty, I'm not being sexist about it.
And then she went from like trying to be normal and using her phone to now full zombie. Huh.
But no one moves. Look.
I love those sounds she's making.
Whoa, chill,
Yeah,
chill,
like,
chill,
look at
chill,
that.
chill, whoa.
I think he reacted
This is what
slightly after I would have. He's just kind of taking
This is what
it.
pisses me off about our society, though. No one stops and puts the camera down
Hey,
and breaks
she's
this
probably
up.
fucking possessed. No, she's probably just...
Yeah, you hear that
Okay.
kid? She's probably just possessed.
Yeah.
All right, now it's too
Is that
much.
the first thing you go to?
She walked away, so that guy did too much. I would have, the moment the hand was on my neck, I would have done something to resist or restrain her. But she walks away, and then he gets up to like keep the fight going. I hate that, like, you know that like, I'm not going to be seen as a little bitch. I hate that fucking attitude people have about, I don't want anyone to see this and think I was scared.
Well, you can't be seen as a. No one pays attention to a bitch. I mean, it's just. I mean, listen to Steve. No one pays attention to
Call,
you.
fuck, yo. Call emergency shit, dog.
I love you, Steve.
Nah, I'm playing on that bullshit.
It's interesting that I mean, I know that they just showed up, but like she was the aggressor and all of the intervention went at the dude because the girl went down.
The demon is inside going, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. I'll believe it's demonic possession when like they also make the train float or fucking something. Instead, it's just someone being.
Yeah. That's definitely drugs.
Yeah, that's some drug shit. She's probably possessed. Come on. Let's go on.
Yeah, that's the first thing that they go to. Who thinks that? Like, if a normal person's sitting there watching this go down, you're going to say, whoa, she's on something, or this bitch is crazy. But very rarely is it going to go to, she's probably possessed. And it was so casual, too. Oh, don't worry. She's just probably possessed.
She's just possessed. Just let her go. She'll get exercised at home. She's on her way to the gym to get exercised. Live chat. Have you guys heard of the drug Flocka? And if so, what is in Flocka? Because it apparently does. Why can't I hit the
Stander
next
from
button?
Waka Flocka Flame.
Come on. Don't be.
Yeah, I think she's drugged out, man.
I think she's drugged out. Oh, I think my mouse is not synced in place correctly.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I might have to
Maybe
refresh
the
the
demon
browser.
is in your
I
computer.
think no. I think
Now that
I think Flocka though is Dander from Waka Flocka Flame.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he just shakes his head into a bag and sells it. It's Flocka.
In Hanover, York County will be featured on a national
that's
TV
good.
show
All right,
tomorrow.
hang on. Let's fix this. You keep talking about drugs and stuff. I'm going to refresh this browser.
Yeah, so if you're going to do drugs, let's start out with a hierarchy of the things that you should try. Number one, if you want to be really woke and you really want to see how offensive not only Halloween costumes can be, but Christmas, elves, candy canes, snowmen, you're going to want to do psychedelics. They tap into a certain part of your brain that allows you to see how life truly is, where you came from. Think of the ape that ate a mushroom and gave us a consciousness, the stoned ape theory. That is where we...
That's where consciousness arose? Okay.
Look,
is that somebody's theory?
We were primates, and an ape found mushrooms that unlocked his brain, and that's where we became conscious.
Let's check it.
That really is a theory. I'm not making that up.
Pai nosso que está no céu, santificado seja o vosso nome. Venha a nós o vosso reino. Seja feita a vossa
Okay,
vontade.
he played a really bad game of limbo, and he cannot get out of that form.
How do you think he got all that blood on his face?
The limbo bar. I think he played limbo with a chainsaw.
I think he pulled his own tooth out.
Não nos deixei cair em tentação, mas livrai do mal. Amém. Você não é poderoso. Você não é
It kills me how people stand around and record this. Get the fuck out of there.
Flocka is carbon 15, hydrogen 21, and nitrous oxide. But is that heroin or like is it a modified version of a street thing? It's a synthetic drug compared to cocaine, but considered even more dangerous. Okay, so a lot of drugs are compared to cocaine, and as a person who had plenty of experience with cocaine in his past,
Myself as well.
yeah, these drugs are not like cocaine. Like,
No.
yeah, cocaine is
The most you do on cocaine is clean your house.
right. You don't leave yourself on cocaine.
Right.
You just it's like Red Bull times a million is what cocaine is.
You definitely don't go playing limbo with chainsaws.
And let me tell you about what I'm trying to remember what number I promised it at. We'll do it. I'm just going to keep pushing it down the road. When I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'll tell you all about the time I tried bath salts. That shit's crazy. That shit is nuts. It was while it was still
People
legal.
eat people's faces on that.
Nope, that never actually happened. That guy had just broken mentally. The only thing in his system was marijuana. I'm trying to
Bullshit.
see if anybody said Flocka if they gave. So yeah, apparently it's just it's a psychoactive stimulant, hallucinations, volatile behavior. And so kind of my point with like, there's nothing that a drug can do that your brain isn't capable of. Like it's not going in and creating a new cluster part in your brain. And that's what's causing these behaviors. It's causing your brain to react and do things to hallucinate and such. So whenever people say like, yeah, demon possessed because look at this, because this guy's back was arched and he was going all fucking nuts and funny voices and yelling and shit. Like, nah, your brain can just do a lot of crazy ass shit as this person's brain has done.
This is beyond. I think something is definitely up here. There is some spirit from a long time ago that got killed playing limbo or something like that, and is in this man. Like this is not drugs. This is not drugs. Look at how his hands curl and the blood and the eyes. No. This is
What's traditional limbo music? I was about to do the but that's
wow, we were really on there.
that's not limbo music. I'm pretty sure limbo music is usually Jamaican on those like drums. Those.
Now you're culturally appropriating Jamaican music.
Am I doing limbo?
How can you continue to do this? It's funny because they put this as being South African in the title up there, but this is not a South African dialect. Interestingly enough,
I don't know.
I read the comments. It's a Southern American.
Oh, okay. Is there a difference? Everybody wanted me to say a racist thing before the episode is over.
Racist.
All right, let's move to. Here's proof that this is a demonic possession because this woman, her voice changes when the demon takes over to a man's voice, and not at all just her voice. If she had some gravel to it.
Dr. Claw.
Oh yeah. Let's move forward.
What brought you here tonight?
Very demonic.
Okay. All right. How long have you been tormented like this?
For 10 years.
What happened to...
I hate this guy too because let's say the experience she's going through is genuine to her, and I'll even give her the benefit of the doubt that she feels possessed. I don't think that's what's actually happening, but she's having the experience of what these people feel like, much more likely to be something to do with schizophrenia or something. But let's say it's genuine to her. This fucking asshole's making it like a Tony Robbins seminar in some shitty hotel seminar room, looking back, cracking jokes. I'll keep playing it now so you can see what I mean. But
it's
fuck this guy.
It's like Jerry Springer meets Jim Baker.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
10 years ago.
My mom died.
Since your mom died, you've been tormented like this?
Well, my sister said that she was going to pray for me. And she started praying to this spirit called Grandfather Eagle Feather.
Do you understand that when your sister prayed to this Grandfather Eagle Feather, that she, though she didn't mean to, was praying to a demon? And she opened you up to demonic forces?
How do you accidentally pray to a demon when you say a prayer? How do you mean to send a prayer to Jesus and it somehow get intercepted by Baal? How does that happen?
This is also that same bullshit psychics do. He's leading them. It's he's decided what's going on, and so now to everybody they're witnessing a Native American, right? Was it a Native American spirit he said? He's appropriating Native American demons.
Who do we blame here though? Who is to blame here?
Trump.
Her or him?
It's always Trump.
Well, yes, but if we have to trickle down the blame,
okay,
who's responsible?
Always I would say him. I think he's exploiting her, but there's also a lot of society that has exploited her, and the fact that like we are raised, most people in America are raised with this concept of magic and demon and fucking all this bullshit actually exists, and so we continue to perpetuate. Her? I think she think she's mentally ill, so I'm not going to blame her for it.
No, I'm getting triggered.
Now let's see the demon.
She has to act here. She has to know when to go in between the two.
No, I don't like you.
He's breathing the Holy Spirit.
We're 600. You think you're going to do 600 tonight?
You're 600.
She's not mentally ill. She's acting.
I don't think I could do 600 tonight.
I think often when the mentally ill are exploited, it's basically that you are encouraging them by the situation, by the situation you're in to act. I'm not saying it's impossible that she's just making the whole thing up for entertainment's sake. However, when I watch, I see a mentally ill person.
We are all mentally ill to some degree, but she is.
Okay, that's such dumb bullshit arguments that people use. Especially when they meet like someone terminally.
She is actively playing a part in certain parts. She's being normal one minute. She's saying this the next minute. She's screaming like a demon the next minute. That's acting.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt.
Don't you use foul language on me, or you're gonna get 7 times greater judgment.
Hush.
Get up and face me, Mom. Do any of you have any legal right? Any of you? No. Then you have to go. Who is chief among you?
It's Smut.
I want it in English. Thank you, Melissa. Get out of the way, Melissa. I want the spirit to tell me in English what does it mean.
It means you're a nut.
Fake.
Listen to you. Never. You are a glutton.
Again, like the way he's using the mic and stuff. This is a show for
That's
him.
choreographed as fuck.
This thing is. Oh, I'm still giving her the benefit of the doubt, but he's a fucking piece of shit.
God, judgment 7 times greater than
I blame her equally.
This guy doesn't give me no break.
I don't need to tell you who I am. Who are you?
I am somebody that's even more powerful than what you want.
Now, this part's interesting because it was a Native American spirit, but that's Scottish. With obviously the gravel.
This is just a...
She meant to do Kermit the Frog, but it came out...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. She sounds like Yoda.
I want to go to one of these. I want to go to one of these and fuck with the guys who are exercising and just go up and be like, don't bring out the demon. Don't bring... Oh, God, here it...
It's Kermit the Frog here. Fuck you. The power of Christ can suck my dick.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That's actually pretty good. That's
Thanks.
pretty good. I have to give you that one.
It might have been. It was either Kermit or my Jordan Peterson impression. It was one of the two. I'm done with it. Let's get to her being exercised. This preacher's blowing the spirit again. Fucking blowing preachers.
I wonder if she's actually smelling his breath and that's why she's screaming like that. This could be an actual distress situation.
It ends with her going, avocado breath. Gross.
Yeah. This would be an excellent, like, Eclipse commercial.
I hope this guy dies surrounded by ducks. Which, if you watched Sunday Mass last Sunday, that's an inside joke between me and my fans.
On Christmas.
Okay. On Christmas, I want him to die surrounded by ducks. All right. Go ahead. And then I got a note before we get started on this one.
I just like the music.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to make a compilation, I love these kinds. 10 things in 4 minutes. That means you're not taking too much time on anything. That's good. Now, my 7 things compilation was 11 minutes, so I'm just saying I like people who don't do things the way I do. Okay. Yeah, this one's so stupid to me. Oh!
Holy shit.
Oh!
My God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The air was kicking on, man. Like it's something to do with the air conditioning and the fucking... Or doors opening and changing the amount of air pressure.
Bob farted next door.
The fact that the fact that people think some spirit was like, hey, I'm going to go fuck with these guys real quick. I'm a ghost, and I'm going to move around the tiles, but I need 3 more guys. There's 4 tiles.
Ceiling tiles, yeah.
This one is crazy.
That is a not very creative ghost.
I don't think this is paranormal. I think this kid's balance is just good, but this one gives me... I just worry about that kid.
No, that is...
I think people went with that it's a demon because of the reflections in his eyes,
I just
too.
got cold chills.
Yeah.
That's creepy as hell.
That is creepy. But, like, we already know kids, when they are trying to get attention, they will stand... They don't just lay down and cry. They stand up. They usually are trying to project outward and get the people in. So I just see him taking that to some grander conclusion. But I got freaked out just because I worried about him falling forwards, not backwards.
Kids are the most unbalanced things ever. Like, ever. They can't balance for shit. He just walked
He
like
balanced
a
for like
there.
6 seconds. No.
I know.
First of all,
that's why it's freaky.
He still falls. If he started to fly, I would think something supernatural happened.
That's freaky. I don't like that. Kill it with fire. Not the kid, but the video.
Did you just start believing in the supernatural there, Kyle? Let's watch it again. Baba.
No. Hell no. Get it away. No.
I don't know.
It's bad enough that kids are already creepy. There's nothing creepier than a night vision kid. Nothing.
I suspect that same thing happens thousands of times a year, but the kids usually get hurt. But this time it was the one time that he stood up for a while and he fell back into his own bed. That probably still didn't feel good, by the way, falling back at the amount of your body length. I don't know. Anyway, this one's stupid as fuck. Oh god!
It's a very polite ghost.
Oh my god! Here's my reaction to all of these. Why was there a camera filming the girl watching in the first place? That's not like a typical.
And if somebody moved my blanket like that while I was sleeping, I would never notice that.
Oh, I'm such a light sleeper. I think I wake up. I think I'd wake up to a person being completely silent, just being in the room. I don't know. Anything wakes me up.
What? Oh, I have not seen that.
That's.
I didn't see that. Oh shit!
For Christmas 2018. Let's see. Oh, Robert X said Professor X already debunked that kid.
Okay, good.
It was the kid video.
Good. Oh god.
Fuck you, Connor.
It's not gonna explode.
I don't know.
Oh god,
this
Eric.
one's titled "Definitely a Ghost."
Yeah, that's just a shitty house.
I suspect black mold, but you can suspect ghost all day long.
I told
you. Who thinks that's a ghost that's gonna rip down the ceiling?
Watch this one. This one's dumb too.
Fishing line.
Yeah, low res ass video. You don't even have to use fishing line.
Right.
So a lot of people know I was a magician in college, and they make string that the human eye can't see. You can like float cards and stuff, and the human eye doesn't pick them up at all. Let alone a fucking 1080, or not even. That was like a 480.
Explains a lot, Jimmy. I'm glad you shared that. Explains a lot.
I don't mind. I fucking love magic.
All right, we're at the playground, and the kids don't want to go anymore because look at this shit. This is real. Look at this. There's no wind out here right now.
No one on it either.
Look, there's nobody on it.
It's just moving.
There's no wind. Look at the other swings, and look at this shit.
Okay, look, if all a ghost wants to do is go on a swing, I have no issue with that. Like this is obviously like a Casper type ghost.
But he also says
he's swinging.
He says there's no wind right now. If you look at the other swings, you can see they are moving slightly. Whereas this thing, and by the way, I think actually somebody just came in and pushed it. But
it has
even
a
if they
mass.
Even if they didn't, it's like a fucking sail.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
The other swings have holes in them where the wind can go through.
The swings have eyes.
I mean, maybe someone pushed it and it just went away. But
You can hear the wind.
Okay, here's another one that's interesting. It looks like she's about to hit is she trying to hit a golf ball through the window? Once again, I'm just very suspect of the premise of this whole video.
No, you cocked your wrist too much. Do it again. Slower.
How was that?
What?
How was that?
Hello?
Get out of here. Listen, the way they react on that, what was that?
Hello?
People would be like running and ducking behind furniture.
Oh my god. Come on, just get out of the house.
Oh, call the halt.
I move quicker when Jehovah's Witnesses come to the door. Like, I dive behind couches so much faster than that.
At least take the golf club with you, ghost accountant.
If we turn the camera off, will you print the diamond symbol? Camera's off.
What is that machine? That ancient-looking machine, anyway?
I think it was called a typewriter.
Can I ask a question? Why are they filming standing over top of this thing in the first place?
I think the premise is like that they had been communicating and this thing was printing symbols. This is the premise. And so then they brought out the camera and then he fell for the lie. Okay, we turned the camera off, but didn't stop filming.
You know what, though? I can debunk this one because my grandfather used to have one of these and he would always like add, every time I was over there, he would add stuff up. If it's on a battery, when the battery gets low, it can do that. It like gets to where it just starts randomly shooting the receipt paper up. If you turn it on, it will just like do that. It's like it's draining out.
But if it just does randomly type 80085, that's the ghost of Fred Trump saying boobs. Boobs. No? All right, moving on.
This thing is printing by itself. I'm glad I'm not the only one that used to do that as a kid. Like type hello upside down.
We're out here
Yeah.
running and
Or just boobs.
swear to fucking God, man.
All right, this is that shit you don't like. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Up over the suspension bridge.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck
sort
these
of freaking
people.
out about it.
Ah, fuck these people.
What the fuck?
Fuck these people.
Yo, what
Now the
fuck
question
you
is,
doing, man?
were these people friends,
It's
or
7:30 in the morning.
was
Have
this
you heard
really
about
a
all this
random
shit? People are
person
freaking out
coming
about
up
this.
on a clown?
Yo, does he have a fucking knife?
The creepy clown people are real.
Yo, Patrick.
Yeah, 2 years ago they were here in my city. There were sightings of them everywhere. People were like freaked out, and there was an apartment complex that had just been recently built, where you would have one come out of the woods and just stand outside people's windows.
That's some creepy ass shit. Fuck you people if you do that.
Yeah, if you do that and you get shot, you deserved it. Okay?
Yeah, no
if
shit.
you get killed because you want to dress as a clown and play a prank on somebody, you deserve to get shot. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm looking forward to getting the live chat's opinions on these upcoming videos, because this is I signed in. Did I accidentally sign out? Oh, it's probably because I refreshed the thing. I signed in, so I wouldn't get these things.
How many videos do we have? I've got about 10 minutes left before I have to.
Yeah, we'll end on we'll end on this here. So if you haven't heard of Black-Eyed Children, they go back. They started becoming popular in like the 1950s, but they're basically like they get caught on like trail cameras and they're always just kind of standing and staring. So let's go forward then to this first one. We won't.
Not to be mistaken for the Catholic version of Black-Eyed Children that was in the grand jury.
Here we go. Okay, so allegedly this guy had sightings, so he sets up a camera and this happens.
On the first night, his laptop camera recorded nothing.
Oh yeah, they have a communication
On the second
frequency.
night, something activated his motion-sensitive outdoor light. But again, there was nothing on camera. Night 3, nothing. Night 4, still nothing appeared. But then, very late on night 5, something shocking happened.
Boom. Now, first of all, I don't know about this being a black-eyed child because
Someone
it looks like
appeared
an
on the
adult
front
woman.
porch, standing and staring inside the house for over an hour.
Look at that.
Yeah, no. No.
That is crazy. If they could have verified this in any way, whenever this happened, it would have been the biggest story in the country forever.
Do you notice when they have those EVP machines where it picks up like random things that people say?
Yeah.
Or like the ghost. Have you noticed how everything that they say makes absolutely zero sense? Like they have nothing to do with each other.
By
there
the
was
way,
a
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say
No, you go ahead.
there's not even agreement on what they are. Like some people think black-eyed children are demons, some people think they're ghosts, and then some people think they are visitors, aliens.
I haven't heard the aliens.
Yeah, this chick kind of looks like an alien. She's there to do surveillance.
For over an hour.
What do you think that is?
What do I think this actually is? Just a person.
Yeah.
Just standing outside. That's it. I think that's it. Now, props, because I could not stand still for an hour and not say a word or whatever. Props to you for making this, but I don't buy it at all. Kyle buys it because of that kid earlier.
I do.
Yeah, he's like, this one's for real. That one's actually kind of my favorite of the ones. But then, so they say afterwards that like they found their gate was unlocked after hearing sounds outside too. This one, okay, this one's kind of cool. My theory is hot women in bikinis. It's just some perv, but we'll watch.
How nice the pool is. You guys should come right
well, you know,
now.
there's a nice view, I must say.
They're cute. They're real cute.
Is that a Zima?
Okay, you know what?
Lady, step it up.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Did we already pass
No,
it?
I don't know
No?
what she was.
Okay, hang on. I gotta back up a little.
Super. Hey guys, it's super hot in Vancouver today, and me and Joanna are just waiting for our friend who is super late to come today. And if you
This
guys
is like
see
a
this
famous
video,
K-pop
you can look
Instagrammer
at
or something like that.
how nice the drink, the cute girl, and how nice the pool is. You guys should come right
Did you
now
see it?
and join us, right?
Well, they'll zoom in here on it. Check this
Claiming
out.
that they saw something creepy in the background of the video.
Here it comes.
If you guys see this video, take a look at how nice.
This might be hard for people to see. Hang on, let me make this full screen because
Yeah, I still don't.
when I watched it the first time, I was like, "Oh shit, that is pretty creepy." Let's pop it up full real quick here, and I'll back up a second.
How nice.
And then a moment later, she comes back again.
Some
And
claimed it was a
whatever it
black-eyed
is
kid
just gone.
watching them from the opposite side of the pool. Whatever it is, the figure mysteriously disappears by the time the camera pans back to where it was standing.
I think it's a
To me, it
pervert.
looks. I think it's just an optical illusion. I think it's just the way that the tree was blown or something like that at the time. Because if you took the top part, what looks like its face out, there's nothing left there. I mean, there's nothing in the middle.
What do y'all think? Is it a pervert in a tree or just the camera's movement? I think I'm feeling perv.
As for Milo
Just a little-
LV, she says, quote, "Once I saw it, I was terrified. When I think about this car."
So this guy, and I think this might be the same guy who recorded the girl out on his porch, but he goes out for a walk because he thought he saw someone run across the road. And again, these people's
Unfortunately,
impulse
he
to
didn't really
record
catch
these
anything on camera.
situations
At
is what I
least
never
that's what
buy.
he thought.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
After
And to
returning
get out
to
of
his
your car,
home, he decided to
like,
check
no.
through the footage
Right.
recorded on his phone. What he found chilled him to the core. Although it's hard to tell in the dark, it looks like someone walking along beside the road, hidden in the dark brush, and unnoticed as the man films.
I didn't see this when I was
that's
walking
freaky
around
as
out
fuck.
there. I mean,
Okay,
there's a noise.
so here's the
Triggering.
ones that fuck you. I have to sign in again. Apparently, I have to sign in every time with this
Snap
browser.
photos when there is any movement.
So you and I talked about this, and these are creepy. They're easy to explain, but they're still creepy as fuck. These are trail cameras that people up to catch pictures of deer and shit. Anyway,
They're usually used to track wildlife in remote wooded areas. In this particular shot
get that
posted online, the trail cam seems to have spotted 2 deer, but they were not alone. What looks to be a small girl in a white gown can be seen in the photo. Many believe this photo to be a black-eyed child captured on camera. This is not the only time that
so as a digital artist who does a lot of composite work, let me tell you how easy it is to take a photo. If the camera never moves and you're taking it at the same angle, super duper easy to merge photos. So you got a photo of deer, and in the exact same frame, you put a little girl out there, and then seriously, it takes anybody. I could teach anyone to do that level of compositing in a few seconds. It's
With
easy.
the deer looking right at her, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I think not.
Is he looking right at her, or do we only know he's looking that direction? I'm not
He's
saying
looking
it
right at
doesn't
her.
line up perfectly. All I know is this deer isn't looking at her. So what's only female deer? Doe.
No, because
A
the deer in the front, the foreground is going, "Get me the fuck out of here. I've got this crazy demon child behind me. It's going to kill us all."
I'm hunting for kiddos.
Please get her out of here.
Yeah.
I am your lord, dear.
Now this one's
This
funny
child
because
is annoying me.
no one figured out who this kid was.
Has allegedly captured
But-
a black-eyed child roaming alone through the woods.
The ones with like old-timey dresses, I get why people are like, oh my god, that's so creepy. That's probably just some drugged out person.
Black-eyed child photo.
But the one back
Many
here,
captured on camera. This is not the
that kid's wearing basketball shorts. Y'all don't think that's just some kid?
He's just ahead of his time.
That
That's
kid's
all.
a Boy Scout.
He's woke.
So woke. All right, what did we not get to? We'll get there next week. Fox News clip of demonic possessions. I'm Mr. Atheist. Kyle has to go, so I know he had prepared 2 to 3 minutes of advice about, but we'll wait until next week because he doesn't have time to do it.
Well, and two, I am co-hosting with Godless Cranium on Heathen Hour tonight. We will be talking to Vadim Newquist, the Creationist Cat's slave owner person. No, Vadim's very funny. If you haven't seen Vadim, please come over and check him out. And Jimmy will actually be on Heathen Hour next week.
Yep, I'll be on Heathen Hour next week, and then also tonight, starting in about an hour, I will be doing Bible study with the Godless Iowan. So that's going to be dope too. Yeah. Everybody, check out all of those things.
So we're competing.
A little bit. I mean, but also then last Sunday you did a show of non-sec during Sunday Mass, so it's never stopped you.
Sir, I will have you know that I claimed that time slot back in February.
Yeah,
How
and
dare
then
you try to...
And then you stopped. You stopped doing Sunday shows.
And then I resumed.
You relinquished your...
I came back.
You relinquished your claim, and you know it.
Guys, I'm still looking for ideas for costumes. I am thinking about going as racist Jimmy.
I really think you should do Rachel Maddow.
I really think that I might do G-Man.
Let's go out on a bang. I'm going to go out on a Rachel Maddow setup. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have for you a man and a pumpkin.
Yo, what up everybody, Casket King here. So now I'm going to show you how to rub the pumpkin.
We probably shouldn't do any more shows because it's going to be impossible to top that.
Yeah. Where's the spurt?
He does have some good rubbage.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I'm scared. Oh, God.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm sorry, I had to take a jump cut.